Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about Blood of Heroes, the superhero and villain role-playing game number 2, the special edition. It's a pretty good-sized book. And I first encountered this particular role-playing mechanics, the system that they have here, back in 1985 in the boxed set of DC Heroes with the Teen Titans, which came with these cards. And they have different heroes on the front. On the back, they have stats for those heroes using the system. Now, I believe it's evolved from the box set to this current edition. I would not be surprised. And if the gentleman sees this, he's probably going to be annoyed because I actually have a copy of the hardware handbook, which I believe he's looking for. So, as I've said in the past, I am a major fan of the D20 system. I think the OGL is the greatest gift that the gaming community has ever received. I stand by that. And within the D20 mechanic, I think that Mutants and Mastermind is the best superheroes game written. I've heard it argued that some people consider it to be the best version of the D20 OGL system that there is. That being said, if you were to go outside the scope of the OGL system and you want to branch out into different mechanics, which there are myriad different mechanics out there, this is quite possibly the best superhero game I have ever seen. And what is so great about it is that it scales incredibly well. And how it scales is that it has a stat system that's open-ended. There is literally no end to how high stats can go, though theoretically there are certain points where it becomes ludicrous. Essentially, if you have a score of 2, that is considered an average adult human. A score of 0, for example, would be 50 pounds. A score of 1 would be 100 pounds. A score of 2 would be 200 pounds. You see where this is going. Every number it goes up doubles the unit that it is applied to, whether it's distance, time, weight, you name it, it doubles. So a person with the strength score of 3 is twice as strong as someone with a score of 2. And the maximum human potential for strength, I believe, is a 6. I believe that, for dexterity, the maximum human potential is a 10, and that's like a perfect athlete. It would, at the peak of their Olympic performance kind of thing. It's what Batman's got. And that means that you could have a world where Robin plays alongside Batman, who plays alongside Superman. And the scores are the same in the sense that you can keep having a strength and you just keep doubling it. Under Mutants and Mastermind, you have a 16 strength and a 16 strength are completely different if you have the super strength feat, which has always bugged me. If you've got a 16 strength and you get another person with a 16 strength, they should be the same. And in this here system, Blood of Heroes, it is the same. If you have a 25 strength and a 25 strength, it's the same strength. And it's really incredibly strong. 25 is Superman, all right? Over above that, and you literally could start warping the very fabric of the universe with your bare hands, kind of thing. It presents you with a nice selection of powers, easily able to emulate any character you've seen in the DC universe or the Marvel universe or in the Independents. There are a couple things that I thought were a little strange. For example, there is an animate image power, which essentially means I could take this card right here, I apply my power to this, and a life-size 3-dimensional version of the Joker pops into existence next to me. And depending on my score in this ability, would dictate his physical scores or his mental scores. You divide them up. This was a power made for gamers, not for superheroes. Because what geek doesn't want the ability to make Olivia Munn appear out of nowhere in his basement? But there is another power that was called the Eye of the Cat, and it allows you to see through another animal's eyes. Beastmaster, perfect emulation of Beastmaster, cool idea. But the power is written such that it says you can see through the eyes of an animal. I'm an animal. Which means if you can look through the eyes of a human, this power is a much more useful ability than if you can only see through the eyes of a parakeet or a house cat. That wording was a little loose. I think they should have tightened it up and made specifics that said, okay, at this level of power you can look through animals, maybe at a higher level you can look through humans. So that was one of the examples that maybe that it needed to be edited a little more. No, I haven't really started thinking in this system, so I can't really tell you how the mechanics flow or not. I've heard other people I have a great deal of respect for on YouTube who love this system. The gentleman, Desartis, they both really like it. So they may be able to give you more advice about the mechanics, about really how to get in the nuts and bolts of playing the game. But as far as character creation goes, this is an excellent system. I started reading this, and all I wanted to do was make a super soldier based on Luke Cage, Power Man, because he would be so much fun in this system. And he would be so easy to do, mostly just some high stats, maybe a little bit of running, just make him a little bit faster, and maybe a smidge of regeneration. And you'd be good to go. Buy him some skills, and you could go. You can control the level of the game easily. The default set of hero points you start the game with to make a character with is 450. But you could easily ramp that up. They have some heroes in here that have some, examples of heroes and villains that are in the 4,000 to 6,000 range. I mean, these people are godlike. So you could really have a range in there. You wanted a gritty game, you could drop that down to only the 300 range. You want more like a pulp thing, the Shadow, the Spider, maybe Indiana Jones, things like that. So this is a really nice scalable system. It uses 2d10 open-ended rolls. You roll two 10s, you roll them again, you add the next roll. If you ever roll 2 1s, though, doesn't matter so you're on the 7th roll. You roll 2 1s, you've failed. Again, I like that. Throws chance in there. I've always liked exploding open-ended dice. I think they're cool because, it gives that wow factor. You can do really well kind of thing. It's a little chart heavy for my taste. I mean, it's only 2 or 3 charts in the game, but I've moved away from charts. I prefer not having charts, but they're not obnoxious, and I think once you get used to using them, you'd flow fairly easily, especially if everybody had a copy right in front of them. You just, quick reference kind of thing. But this is a really good superhero game, and if it makes me want to play in a game where someone runs it, I am not qualified to run this game at this point, but I would like to play in one. So highly recommended. I bought this off at Amazon. I think I paid $20 or something like that, $25, I know, something like that, but it was a decent price. I bundled it with something else and got free shipping. So yeah, it was less than $25 because you get free shipping after 25. But yeah, definitely worth your time, worth your effort. Check it out. I hope the gentleman isn't too mad that I have a copy of the Hardware Handbook.